FMP advocate Mkhwebane wrote a social media post after the Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed her appeal. She wrote that the leading judge displayed noticeable arrogance and dismissiveness throughout the proceedings. Mkhwebane went further to say her struggle has consistently involved key figures, predominantly of Indian descent, who have positioned themselves as her persecutors. COSATU says the courts have jailed people in the past for hate speech, adding that hate speech must not be taken lightly, as millions of people have died globally due to hate speech.
What we cannot do as South Africa is to treat the issue of racism, of discrimination, of incitement, of hate speech lightly, because it is a slippery slope to ethnic cleansing, to racism on an active basis, and of course to the deaths we have seen in South Africa's painful history and many other countries' painful history. So for us as COSATU, this is a red line.
Also said they welcome the move by Parliament to condemn Mkhwebane's social media remarks. However, the Labour Federation says it's about time that the institution treats errant MPs more harshly.
For far too long, the Parliament's Ethics Committee has really treated its members with kid gloves. And this is why we have increasingly seen members of Parliament behave little better than hooligans or hoodlums, and they need to set an example. Society has a right to hold members of Parliament in the highest form of scrutiny. We have the right, especially because workers are paying the salaries of members of Parliament, to hold them accountable.
Meanwhile, the DA says it will submit an affidavit to the Registrar of Parliament requesting the Ethics Committee to investigate. The party says Mkhwebane's remarks violate the Code of Ethics as well as allegiance in terms of the Constitution.
Racist remarks against people of Indian descent who she claims were responsible for her downfall. This, of course, is untrue. She was responsible for her own downfall that ultimately led to her impeachment. But her remarks also contained certain derogatory remarks against staff members of Parliament.
The EFF says if the matter proceeds to the Ethics Committee, Mkhwebane will have their full support.
The individuals, the groups, the political parties who are throwing their toys out of the cot because of this post must stop for a sec, breathe, drink water, and have a conversation with themselves. And they should ask, when and how is it that mentioning someone's first name, their surname, a role or a position they occupied during a particular process, and their ethnic group, when and how does that amount to hate speech?
Mkhwebane has since apologized for the post. Lula Mamatya, SABC News, Parliament.